by any means necessary. To our last breath, to the last play, we hunt. When we bleed, it's orange and green. War ready is the phrase often used. Around these parks, it's game time. No need to turn back the hands of time. We back like we never left. One thing that'll never change is the brand, the you.
Welcome back to the Games Get Played Network. I'm your host, Wise, and I'm back. Listen, man, it's the last regular season review of the year. We made it all the way here, man. We here to recap Miami versus Pitt. We'll keep this one short and concise, man. We'll get into the CFP reveal that happened on Tuesday. We were watching it live once again, and a lot of mixed emotions about what we saw and some of the things that were said. And then since then, the committee chairman specifically made a statement regarding Notre Dame and Miami and all of that. But let's put all that to the side and discuss this Miami Pitt review. So overall, I know everybody, and I mean everybody for Canes Nation was watching what was going on. Okay, I know everybody was watching it because this was a must-win game for Miami. And in order to have any type of consideration from the committee, this was a situation where Miami had to come out and dominate. And I'll be honest, I did my preview. I did not expect Miami to shut Pitt down the way that they did. Pitt was clearly overmatched in every aspect. The only area where they had success early on was when Mason Heinchel was able to kind of move around and throw it downfield, even though he was under immense pressure. So the couple of times when that happened early on in the first half, they did have success. First 4 deep shots they threw, they had us beat on 3 out of the 4. And I believe they caught 2 out of the 4. Might have been 3. So, deep shots were had. But Heatherman made the adjustment. Once he made the adjustment, it was night-night. They didn't score again. Just overall, man, Miami comes out. We go up 3-0. For some reason, man, it always feels like whenever some bullshit happen on a call, it's like it be snowballing affecting us on drives. So, Pitt goes for it on like their own 29 or 30-yard line. They definitely did not get that first down. The officials gifted them the first down with the spot. And then from there, they just go on. They go on. We miss a tackle. Yeah, it was weird, man. We was missing tackles early in the game. We couldn't tackle. He had like 3 plays in particular, but for some reason, we could not tackle. I guess it was Joff. I don't know why. He was number 8, if I'm not mistaken, during the game, but we couldn't tackle that guy. Right? He had like a 13-yard run, or he had 8 yards and 13 and all of that. And then he caught a pass that went for like maybe 9. And it was annoying because it was like 3rd and 9. He get the first down. Then we like 3rd and 8 again. He get a first down. But solidified everything. And at the end of the day, Miami handled business, man. After Pitt scored, clearly they didn't score again. And from there, Miami just kind of imposed their will. Right? Overall imposed their will. We end up beating Pitt 38-7. Just overall, Pitt had 229 total yards. They only had 11 first downs. They were 4 of 13 on third down, 1 of 2 on fourth down, and we controlled time of possession. We sacked them 4 times in the first half. Mason Heinkel was under immense pressure the entire game. Clearly, their O-line was overmatched. Their D-line, nobody was over 300 pounds. We just dominated them. I didn't even expect us to beat Pitt the way we did. We really dominated them and smacked them boys. Like, real deal. Smacked them. Beck was having a really good game. He did throw the 1 interception, but he threw 3 touchdowns, 23 of 29, 267. So he's still around that 270 average, man. Malachi did Malachi things. He broke Amon Richards' freshman receiving record. I was the first person that got out in front of that about 6 weeks ago and kind of put the world on notice that it was going to happen. And he had a little spell in there where he kind of slowed down. But overall, he finished the regular season with 970 yards, 7 touchdowns. He obviously threw a touchdown pass in this game. We ran the ball effectively with Pringle in particular. Once Pringle came into the game and he started hitting some of those small creases, it completely changed the game. Soon as he started hitting some of them small creases, it was lights out. And Miami did their thing, man. Defense did what they needed to do. We held Turner to only 37 yards after he had just killed Georgia Tech last week. He was averaging 3.7 yards per carry. He had just ran for 200 yards on Georgia Tech, averaging almost 10 a pop. And yeah, man, we held them boys to 30 rushing yards for the whole game. 21 carries on 30 yards. It was just domination by the defense, man. Yeah, it's pure domination, bro. Ruben Bain had 1.5 sacks. Moton had 1.5 sacks. Bryce caught a pick. We just did what we needed to do, man. It was the way we needed to end the season to make a statement. I think that the committee didn't expect Miami to win their last 4 games the way they did. See, when they put us at 18, they didn't expect us to win all 4 games, let alone win them how we won them. Right? The only one that they tried to say was close was Virginia Tech. And that game was never really in question anyway, but they framed it as a scare and all of that. But this game, which was at the time they were saying was Notre Dame's best win, nobody expected us to beat them 38-7. We almost shut them boys out on the road. So I was extremely happy about how we closed the season out. I had us going 11-1. We happened to drop one more additional game. We ended up at 10-2. And there's some slim hopes for the CFP still. I think my personal opinion, and we'll get into the conversation. You'll see it here in a second, but my personal opinion is if BYU loses, then we move to 11 and we get flopped with Notre Dame. The only reason why I don't think they did it, and this is just my personal opinion, I know everybody gonna have their comments on this. The only reason why I don't think they did it is because championship weekend has no flair. The only game that people actually care about is BYU Texas Tech. Nobody cares about who wins the SEC because unless Bama gets smoked with them putting them at 9, they're going to get in anyway. Nobody really cares about who wins between Tulane and North Texas because the winner of that game is going to get in. Some people, I guess, want Duke to beat Virginia so James Madison or somebody else can get in. And then the Big Ten championship game don't matter either because Ohio State and Indiana both getting in. So you're just talking about seeding stuff. The only one that's really going to flip stuff is BYU Texas Tech. And if the committee had put Miami above Notre Dame right now, there would be no parity left. There would be, bro, everything exploded when they jumped Bama in front of Notre Dame and then left us 2 spots behind. So I'm going to say that they did it because they need to keep this week interesting, because without it, viewership across the board would be down. Now you're going to have people extremely tuned in Friday and Saturday just to see how this all shakes out. So that's just my personal opinion. If we end up right next to Notre Dame, I do not see the committee leaving Miami out. If BYU wins, Miami will not get in, without question. To me, they don't get in unless Bama just get blown out, which I just don't see happening, bro. Kirby done beat Alabama one time in 7 or 8 years. I don't see them blowing. I don't see Georgia blowing Bama out. So BYU need to lose, and to me, BYU isn't even good. I'm just being real. I don't care if they're 11-1. That don't mean nothing. BYU's not good. And Texas Tech beat them by 3 scores the first time. I don't care if Texas Tech just beat them by 1 score. If you lose, you need to fall at this point. But I do think Texas Tech will handle them and beat them by more than 8 points. So I like Texas Tech by at least 9 to win this game, even if it's fairly close. I definitely want to thank everybody that has been tuning in this year. The channel, the conversations, and everything has gone to new heights. I really appreciate everybody that tuned in for the regular season. We will be having content that will be dropping during the off season, whenever that may come. But it's been a great ride, man. The channel has continued to grow. It doesn't grow without the support from everybody that tunes in, everybody that shares, everybody that comments. So if you're watching this, please subscribe to the channel, like the videos, get in the comments. Rather, if you're a Canes fan or not, there's CFP discussions and things like that. But just to give my takes on what I think is going to happen this week, I think Ohio State will beat Indiana and stay the #1 seed. We're really going to see what Indiana is made out of, in my opinion. I don't think they'll be able to cover Ohio State's wide receivers, and I don't think they can win up front. That's just my personal opinion, but they can't cover JJ and Tate. And honestly, Ennis might even get off. So that's just my take on that game. I like Ohio State to comfortably win. As far as Georgia, Bama, I got Georgia in a close one, which would not knock Bama out if they lost in a close one. As far as Texas Tech, BYU, I told you I got Texas Tech by at least 9 points. Tulane, North Texas, that's tough. It's really tough. North Texas offense is fire. So I think that's going to be a really tough competitive game. I think I'm going to probably go Tulane on that one. And then James Madison will beat Troy. But I honestly think, I don't think Duke can beat Virginia. From before, when they played in a regular season, I had Duke winning that game because Chandler Morris was banged up and all of that. But I don't think Duke can beat Virginia, bro. I think Virginia has shown that they're a well-coached football team. And I don't see Duke putting up crazy points on Virginia. You know, the first time they played, they kind of stymied them out and everything. And we really going to see, you know, what Manny Diaz them scheme up against to go up against Tony Elliott. But I like Virginia to win that game. And it doesn't have any bearing. Winner or loser has no bearing on if Miami's going to make it to the CFP or not, which we'll get into that later. But the 11 and 12 are going to the highest ranked conference champions, whoever that may be. So Miami's only option to get in is to get bumped to 11 and then get flopped with Notre Dame and end up 10. So that's my take on championship weekend. I think when it's all said and done, you'll have one G5 team, which will be the winner of Tulane, North Texas. I think Virginia gets in and represents the ACC. From there, really depends. I think Virginia can beat Ole Miss. Let me check. And this isn't final or anything like that. Actually, it's Oregon. Yeah, Virginia can beat Oregon. If they end up being, which they'll probably actually end up being number 11. So 11 would play 6. That would be Ole Miss. I would like Virginia to beat Ole Miss. If Tulane or North Texas play Oregon, I think it'll be closer than people think, but Oregon would probably prevail against Tulane. I don't know if they would beat North Texas, honestly. Oregon's not that good this year, if I'm being real. They haven't beat nobody for real. I think their best win may have been like Washington. And I'm not even talking about who was ranked and all of that. I'm just talking about the best football team that they beat. Actually, it was USC. But USC and Washington, both of those games was pretty close. I do think Washington had a pretty good football team. No, Oregon was in a dogfight with them until late fourth, if I'm not mistaken. Assuming that Miami would be at 10 play 7, I like Miami to beat A&M straight up. And then 8 playing 9, if that were to stick. I think Alabama would beat Oklahoma on the second go around. So that's just the way I would see that shaking out if it happened. But I think overall for the Canes, man, I think this season was a win. It's our first back-to-back 10-win season since 2002, 2003, if I'm not mistaken. You'll take it. Did I want an ACC championship appearance? Absolutely. Did I want an ACC championship? Yes. But 2 back-to-back 10-win seasons, the talent is continuing to get better. National Signing Day, we signed all 29 of our guys. We'll look to maybe get a couple more people, but we signed 29 guys. So at this point, the only people that we would even be looking at are super big fish. But the talent has consistently gotten better. We're building depth. Our coaching has gotten better. I think we hit a home run with Heatherman. I personally don't really care for Dawson still. He's gotten away from some of his stubborn ways and he's started to open things up, but I'm not really sure. I know for the future he isn't necessarily the best option because these kids not being coached up at quarterback good enough, right? And, with how it's looking, not sure I'm sold on another 1-year rental on a guy. If you're going to grab a guy out of the portal, he need to have at least 2. And that way, Nickel and Coleman can kind of just battle it out, and see, who's the most prepared by the time it's time to rock out. But if we have to go with a young guy or a freshman next year, I think we set up to do so. The run game is going to be phenomenal. You got Malachi that can come in and give you that different dynamic. He's going to be better, faster, stronger. The receiving core is going to be there to support. Tight end play will be better. So you can lean on it and have a young guy run. Go heavy on the run and kind of, just do some different things to switch it up. But, I'm going to give credit where it's due, man. Shout out Shannon Dawson for being able to get out of the box that he put himself in. When we was watching a game, I told Twan, man, I told him, I was like, look, the straight pass is coming from Wildcat this game. Like, I already seen the setup, and you do it a couple times on the run, and then straight up pass. The first one we didn't hit. because Joshua Moore dropped it. Mally threw him a perfect ball, but the next one we hit on a touchdown, man. So at the end of the day, man, nobody don't want to play Miami in the playoffs, bro. I'm keeping it real. Nobody wants to play Miami. I'm not saying that Miami can't lose. What I'm saying is nobody would like to sign up to play what we got. And if the committee is going to put the top 12 teams in the country in, then Miami has to be in there. Until next time, we watching the CFP, the last selection, on Sunday. I'll probably open up the chat again. I'll be on the road. I might open up the chat, but we need to see what happens, man. So everybody stay locked, tune in. Sunday at some point a video will release, no matter if it's good or bad for the Canes. Until next time, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Please hit the subscribe, turn the notifications on, like the videos, hop in the comments. Your boy Wise signing out.
Vanderbilt with a historic season, Bobby likely to go to New York.
I know I ain't saying nothing. I'm just saying.
I mean, I think there's a very good chance.
Bro, there's no way these niggas got back up to 13, bro. That's
somebody jumped in
crazy.
there. I'm gonna tell you that now. Somebody jumped in there. You gonna see it.
They're a spot ahead. Yeah, and if you look at their strength of record,
look at that.
12 game control, 17. They've played with
Strength
the food a
of
couple
record.
times.
They
Kentucky
lost to
comes to
Florida.
mind. Mississippi State comes to mind. They didn't look good in the first half of the season. Lost to Florida. Steve Sarkisian makes a compelling argument. On their best day, yes, they can play with anybody, A&M, Vandy, Oklahoma. But on their worst day, they can also play down to the level of competition. I think the committee appropriately places them at 13.
All right, all right.
At number 12, one spot ahead of the Longhorns.
Lad. We had 12.
All right,
How we go?
right. Yeah, I told you we was at 12. Didn't I tell you?
Bro, how do we move back, bro?
This
This shit crazy, fam.
So the Hurricanes sitting there at 12.
Bro, how the fuck do we move back, bro?
Deja vu 10-2 again, and we're gonna get left out, especially with the win over Notre Dame, who everybody loves, including this committee.
Wait till you see who
I
in front
still
of
think
them.
at some point they're gonna do the right thing, and if Notre Dame is up for a playoff spot, Miami should be over them based on what happened on the field.
Well, they're not playing anymore, and that's something we'll ask Hunter Yurachek about coming up in just a few minutes. Now, number 11. Number 11 is the cut line when we're state, and it's still BYU. Now, look, BYU fans said they aren't getting their due as an at-large team, but BYU
That's crazy, bro.
You know, you see that's BYU, right? You know who next, right?
Bro, what all they did was say if Alabama or BYU lose, all they saying is they can still get in before us by not putting us up there, bro. They thinking they slick, bro.
Texas Tech. All of a sudden, the Big 12 was getting 2 teams in at that point, and they could steal one of those spots from one of the other teams that are sitting there on the
Oh man, that's crazy, bro. That shit crazy weird, bro.
Follow the season.
That shit crazy weird, bro.
Who's sitting right on the bubble right now, and if you also watch odds makers who do such things,
remember Texas A&M.
And
Bama jump Notre Dame.
Notre Dame,
but we don't.
Now the team
man, come on, bro. This shit can't be real, bro.
After finishing the season 10-2 on a 10-game winning streak.
Bama jump Notre Dame.
You know who after Notre Dame, the next thing, number 9. You know who that is.
That's Bama.
But it does feel like after Alabama.
But how do Bama jump them after playing Auburn? They're an unranked team.
And who's in front of Bama? Who at 8?
So Notre Dame
this shit don't make no sense, bro. You telling me Bama jumped Notre Dame for playing an unranked team, but we play a ranked team on the road and we fall?
This comes down to the classic.
This shit is crazy, bro.
Oh my goodness.
Alabama clearly has the better case.
This nigga be wild, bro.
It's a shocker. Y'all about to see a shocker.
Thing to look at Notre Dame in Miami.
Oh nah, man.
Especially the way Notre Dame has been playing, and Greg mentioned it, the way they've been blowing.
Y'all can see it.
Drop one. But again, we will see Alabama play against Georgia this weekend and see what they are. But I'm surprised to see that switch.
It will be interesting to see. Alabama has another game to play. Georgia beats Alabama. Now Alabama is 10-3. How do you look at Alabama and Notre Dame at that point? That will be fascinating.
And does it give Alabama a little cushion?
Texas A&M at 7. They ain't play nobody, and they lost.
They just lost to Texas.
That's probably a really big point. We'll get to the
no, but I'm saying that
Oklahoma survived against LSU. They stay one spot ahead of the team.
Wow.
Bro, niggas who survive get to stay in front of niggas, but niggas who blow niggas out don't get to move up.
That's
Texas
crazy,
A&M.
bro.
Look at this shit right
This
here.
would give the Aggies a home
The
game.
Ole Miss
I told
dropped
y'all niggas, man. This shit crazy, bro.
The Ole Miss Rebels, who despite losing Lane Kiffin,
Texas A&M, they fell to 7.
Yeah, and I think this
Yeah,
is
I knew that. They ain't played nobody, bro. They played the bottom 7 teams in the SEC.
Yeah, but they should have fell more than that.
Nah, hell nah, bro.
They should have felt more than
Where
that,
we
bro.
landed at?
They went 3-7, bro.
Where we landed at?
The defensive coordinator is still there. They will be able to make.
We landed at 12.
Yeah.
Yes, bro. We got pushed back, bro. Okay, hey, Alabama jumped Notre Dame while beating on fucking Auburn, bro, by a little bit. How the fuck, bro?
Well,
Bro, this shit weird, bro. This shit weird, bro.
I'm gonna tell you something. If Duke beats Virginia, then they gonna keep us in that spot.
Raiders can win the Big 12 when they take on BYU, maybe get a first round.
I'm gonna tell you that. I know that for a fact. If Duke beat Virginia with a 5-loss record, they are not gonna put them at the. They gonna
but Jado, once again, they double hedging on their bet, bro. By saying that, now we gotta wait another week for another result. So what if Duke don't beat them? You get what I'm saying? No, bro. That ain't how this shit go, bro.
What if BYU lose?
Georgia beat
BYU.
This shit crazy, bro. This shit crazy, bro.
If BYU lose, do we drop out? Do we drop in their spot?
Logic would dictate if Virginia beats Duke, they'll go into that 11th
I mean,
spot. And
they got Miami at 12.
Champion. If Duke wins, then it's probably going to be the American champion, either Tulane or North Texas, and James Madison. If James Madison wins, door also could be open for the Mountain West.
Miami don't get no love, man. You know what I'm saying? It got to be.
A lot of Troy fans too, maybe from the Mountain West. You never know. So what's a big takeaway for you here in this?
I continue to look at 8 through 12, and when you look at Oklahoma, Alabama, Notre Dame, BYU, and Miami, Miami's sitting there at 12. If you're Miami at 10-2, you're staring up to these two teams. There's really nowhere for Miami to go. And I think Miami feels like that, yeah, we lost some games, but we're playing really good football right now. Carson Beck is starting to play well. And if we're going to talk about other teams like Notre Dame, got better throughout the season, how come Miami can't get better? How come Miami can't be playing their best football right now? 2 years in a row, a 10-2 Miami team, regardless of what you think about how they played, might get left out of the playoff. And to me, that doesn't seem right.
Regardless of how you think they might have played, that does count in this. And so it's interesting to me.
That does count. So us beating Notre Dame, don't.
To lose to Georgia because they're sitting in front of two teams that aren't playing football this upcoming weekend, and it's going to have the question mark of how important is it to get to this conference championship. A&M might have done themselves a favor and not having to play an extra game and getting a home game.
Texas Tech play what you call them? Don't be
interesting to see what
BYU
losses and the
BYU.
And the
BYU, I mean, yeah, Texas Tech play. And what if Texas Tech beat BYU? Then what?
We good, bro, but right? No, we good. Like, bro, they gonna lose, but that's not the point. The point is, bro, we did enough to be in the playoffs now. We shouldn't have to wait till the last week for two teams to lose, bro.
What was going to happen with SMU? Would they drop behind Alabama, Ole Miss, Miami, and South Carolina? That was the big question. Who would
crazy,
get in?
man. They got BYU in front of us.
The team that was required to play that 13th.
Ole Miss in front of us.
At this point, based on what we saw tonight,
nah, I like Ole Miss in front of us, bro. I ain't gonna do that, bro. All that other shit dead though, bro.
I think
they lost their coach, though.
Yeah, but somebody made a good point.
You remember when Florida State lost?
Wait, somebody made a good point, bro, and I didn't look at it this way, bro. You saw 2 games without Jordan Travis, how trash they were. We haven't seen Ole Miss without their coach, so we don't know how bad they really are. So I can't put that on them right now when they still got the same players.
Let them lose. Let them lose this weekend coming. Let them lose.
They don't play this weekend.
I brought this up a lot of times.
They don't.
No, bro. Georgia play Alabama.
I thought they was in the championship.
Georgia play Alabama, bro.
You mentioned the Big Ten.
It was gonna be Texas A&M. It was gonna be Texas A&M and Georgia, but Texas A&M lost. Ole Miss was never in the talk, bro.
That'll say to
I
those
thought
other teams,
Texas
hey,
A&M.
don't schedule
I thought
anybody
I
in
thought
the
Texas Tech play.
Consideration. It might have also
they play
motivated the
BYU.
Alabama move.
Yeah.
AT&T keeping you connected with Bracket Insights. Heather Dinich over there. Heather, the ACC scenario with Duke and Virginia is a fascinating one.
It is, and the fact that JMU is ranked makes it all the more viable that the ACC could get left out entirely. But when we talk about this spot right here, what if JMU loses? I don't want to eliminate Duke entirely because
she keep bringing up JMU. I mean, who the fuck a JMU?
Had a top 20 win against Virginia. Guys,
I mean,
like room,
we talk about James Madison and a 7-5 Duke team over Miami or Virginia.
They're not going to put. I'm telling you, if Duke beat, they're not going to put Duke into in the bracket. I'm telling you.
But
that's not going to happen.
If Virginia, who the fuck want to see Virginia?
But I'm saying though, but I'm telling you, nah, Jay. If Virginia win, bro, they putting Virginia in, bro.
That's right. That's it. Duke. If Duke beat Virginia.
But what's the odds of that, bro? But I'm saying, what's the odds of that? Once again, they fucked us because what's the odds of that?
Teams around, right?
Yeah.
But if BYU moves out,
how you move?
I don't like neither one of the teams. I mean,
somebody, please explain to me how Bama go up
because of the head-to-head
by playing Auburn, a 5-4 team, but we didn't go up by playing Pittsburgh, a ranked team, bro. Please tell me this shit, bro. How do we move back and they move forward? Please, somebody tell me, bro. This shit ain't adding up. This shit ain't adding up, bro.
Manuel told us that
this shit ain't adding up, bro. And they keeping OU sorry ass offense.
Lock it in.
Like that shit ain't go like.
It would be amazing if two teams don't play in a week.
I'm mad as shit for real.
And then flip.
Yeah. Hunter, I think the most notable thing that happened in these rankings is that Alabama moved ahead of Notre Dame. Why?
Reese, I will tell you the debate between Alabama and Notre Dame over the past 3 weeks has been one of the strongest debates we've had in the room for the past 2 years that I've been a member of the committee. And I think this week, as we looked at those two teams and how closely they have been over the past 3 weeks, Notre Dame went on the road, had a strong win at Stanford, but Alabama went on the road in a rivalry game, looked really good, especially in the first half, getting up 17-0, ran the ball well. Auburn came back at them. They had a great gutsy call on 4th and 2 late in the third quarter to get a touchdown and then got the turnover late in that game. And I think that was enough to change the minds of a couple of committee members to push Alabama up ahead of Notre Dame in this week's rankings.
You know what the question is going to be is that you're not going to want to have a team lose in the SEC championship game and get bumped out if, say, BYU wins the Big 12. Did that come up in the room?
It did not, Reese. We will evaluate the results of the championship game after they are all completed over the weekend.
Okay, here is a really important factor, too, because you're still honoring head-to-head between Alabama and Oklahoma with the Sooners being up. But it has not carried the day for Miami and Notre Dame. Neither Miami nor Notre Dame play anymore. Among the teams who are finished playing, do not play this week, can their order flip next Sunday in the final rankings, or is the order for the teams whose hay is in the barn, whose resume is complete, are they set in terms of where they are relative to one another?
Great question, Reese. The management committee during the offseason provided some clarification to some comments that were made last year. And indeed, idle teams can move following the results of the championship games and how they impact the teams that are around those that play in the championship game, and data such as strength of schedule, teams that may be idle. So yes, teams that are idle can move up or down.
So we're not set with Miami definitively being behind Notre Dame no matter what. Is that fair to say?
Reese, following the championship games, we will re-rank the top 25 teams, and we'll see where they fall.
I'm going to take that as the Canes still have a chance.
And that's, man, I can't even bite my tongue, dog. That's what pissed me off the most, dog. Because y'all looked at our offense, dog. We dragged people the first 5 weeks, and then now y'all say we got to pass the eye test. But Alabama been passing the eye test. Oklahoma been passing the eye test. There's a lot of these teams that ain't passing no eye test, but y'all only asking Miami to do that, dog. Like, that's the shit that pissed me off for real, bro.
Yeah.
That's wild to me.
Wow. Well, so
I would never thought in my lifetime I see a BYU in front of Miami. I never thought some shit like that. I mean, come on. Where are we in college football with BYU? Come on, man.
so
BYU struggled with
I ain't back
UCF
in
at
the
first.
day.
hey,
We ain't
They
never
blew them out.
BYU. Who the fuck is that?
hey,
like,
so
like a high school
look,
team or some shit. I mean, come on,
let's
man.
say
Never
UGA
heard no
smoke.
damn BYU. Get the
Yeah,
fuck out of
UG
here.
smoked
Let's say
Alabama.
UGA
That's
smoke
over
Bama.
for them.
I don't think they will because Kirby only beat Bama one time in 7-8 years. But let's say UGA smoke Bama. They leave them in.
Hell no.
Nah, I
I
would
think so.
assume that's what they was
I
talking
Nah,
think
about.
so.
they
Title
ain't. That's
teams move up or down. But
Oh no,
between
you
that,
say they smoke Bama? They smoke Bama. The right answer would be they get pushed out.
All right, so
Will
let's
they
say they
do it?
smoke Bama.
but that's if they smoke Bama, not like a
No, I
close
can't be.
game.
No, I agree.
More than two
You got
scores. More than two scores.
it just got to be domination. So the 2 scores is minimum.
Yeah,
Shit, Bama
minimum.
almost lost last weekend. Shit.
Correct.
But
Yeah, I mean, they got
Georgia
points,
ain't do nothing to
performance.
Georgia Tech either, so that's gonna be an ass game regardless.
and then what about
So
Texas Tech and BYU?
If
hold on.
if
Yeah,
BYU
I'm gonna
loses,
go to it real
we
quick.
have
Hold on.
a pathway in, no matter what.
So
Because if they put us
what's the
next to
major
Notre
game
Dame,
they
we
really
jump
looking
them.
at? They
All
looking
right.
at
So
the
look.
Alabama game?
So currently BYU is 11, right?
Right.
But in the bracket, 11 and let me go to it.
11 and 12 is no. It ain't about to hold no weight.
11 and 12 are conference champions. That means we got to be
Okay,
number 10 to get
got you.
in.
Okay,
You gotta be 10 or better.
so look, if BYU, so BYU is gonna lose. I ain't even worrying about that. I don't see them beating Texas Tech. And to be honest, bro, they finna lose their coach to Penn State. I don't think they're gonna be focused. But let's say Texas Tech beat BYU, they automatically not getting in. So that they 11, you ain't the conference champ, so you gonna fall by the wayside. Because where they put them at, they can't jump nobody, even if it's a tight game, right? So they're out. Miami would slide to 11, but you got to get to 10. Let's say Georgia smoked Bama.
So we need
Got
2
Bama
losses
going
from
to
somebody.
11 and Miami going to 10 and Notre Dame moving to 9. Is that the way in? Both teams got to get smoked.
And it's a third option, like I
Man,
said,
I ain't
is
got that
Duke.
faith, but
What?
Duke beat.
I'm like this. Why they gotta get? Why can't Bama lose by half a point and get kicked out? That's you 3 losses. Get your ass out of here.
I ain't gonna
Technically, they
lie.
playing an extra game that we not playing and Notre Dame not playing. So it's like no matter what, they get put in unless they get smoked.
Man,
I ain't
wise.
gonna lie, bro.
Go ahead.
I think what it really is at this point, because look, bro. So hold on.
And to be honest, Notre Dame's strength of schedule is barely better than ours based off the teams that they play, win, losses, and stuff. It's barely. It's like a smidge. But other than that, that head to head shouldn't matter. So if we get put at number 11, we're going to number 10 no matter what. They have to if they're gonna do that head to head BS they did with Texas and Alabama and Oklahoma.
So you saying that if BYU or Bama lose, we slide up to 11 and then they gonna flop us with Notre Dame and kick them out?
Have to, based
There
off
ain't
what
no
they just
ain't
said.
no way, bro.
Yes,
Ain't no way,
if
bro.
y'all listen to exactly what they said, they put a 9-3. I mean, what Texas is? They got 3 losses. They put them at number 13, saying, "Oh, they beat Vandy head to head. They got that nod over them. Vandy only got 2 losses. So based off what
they
saying
said that?
head, they have to do that based off their words. They have to do
that. I ain't
Y'all
realize
really
that.
believe in what these people telling y'all,
No,
man?
I'm saying if they don't do it, they just contradicting themselves. And they just
Like,
hate fucking
y'all
Miami.
setting yourself up for failure, bro. Like, let's be real. They had 4 weeks to go ahead and try to make some type of correction, dog. They strung us along, and guess what? On the last day, what they did, Miami, y'all at 12, dog. We gonna put BYU in front of y'all, and we gonna move Bama to 8 and put Notre Dame at 9. Hey, come on.
And the
Or
only way they
wherever.
don't put us in there is that they put Notre Dame at 8 and they put us at 10. I
They
mean,
left
at
us at
11.
12 to let us know, dog, ain't no way in hell we putting y'all in these
If
playoffs,
they put
bro.
us at 11 and they move Notre Dame up to 9, they're not swapping us. But if they keep Notre Dame at 10 and we move up to 11, if BYU loses, then they're going to swap us. Other than that, there ain't no other way in for us.
Be
Man,
real, I don't see that happening, dog. They love Notre Dame too much. I don't
dog.
see that being
They
flopped,
put a
bro.
9-3 Texas
It might not
upset many
happen.
slots, bro. That's
13.
Yeah, they slid them 3 spots. They were 16, they moved them 13. But what I'm saying is that logic they used is the same thing they have to use as they move us to number 11 and Notre Dame still at number 10. They can't renege on their word, even though we know they are. That's all I'm saying. We know we're not getting
they
in.
can do whatever they want to do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Based on
I
their
mean, you
logic,
saying
how
they
they
can't?
moved Texas up
What is it?
and kept Oklahoma in front of Alabama, based on their logic, that's what they're supposed to do with us if we move to a number 11
I
and
might have
Notre Dame number 10.
burger in the
But
morning.
we know they're not gonna keep their word on that because it's always come to us. They don't fuck with us.
I would say this: if they wanted us in the playoffs, they would have put us at 11. We would have been at 11. BYU would have been at 12. Win and you win BYU.
All
Guess
right,
what? They put
this
us
reason
at
why they put
12
us
to
at
say
11.
y'all
This is
not coming
my
in.
take.
Period.
BYU got a conference championship game against Texas Tech. Pending they beat Texas Tech, they keeping both of them in. If BYU
Correct.
lose, they just like, all right, we can just go ahead and slide them out the way anyway.
So if BYU beat Texas Tech, they automatically get in because
No, that's what I'm saying. They automatically get in, but they're keeping Texas Tech in as well, is what I'm saying.
correct because they're at number 4. They ain't gonna slide out. Yeah,
Exactly.
They
So
not.
that's the reason
Texas
why
Tech
they kept BYU at number 11.
Texas Tech is a lot. But if they really wanted to make it smart, dog, they know Bama and BYU play this weekend. If they really felt that way, they would have said, hey, y'all two, y'all win, y'all in. Straight up. They could have put us at 10 right
but
underneath Notre Dame, dog.
but they didn't need to say that because the conference champions automatically are going to get in with where they rank. They don't need to say that. If Bama beat Georgia, they automatically get in. I mean, they would be the SEC champ and they would be ranked number 9. They would probably go up to like number 5 or something. Same thing with BYU. They didn't need to say win and get in because these conference champions are ranked high enough to where they will get in. It's the 5 highest ranked conference champs.
Top 5 highest ranked conference.
Wise, I agree with you. All I'm saying is for cosmetic purposes, they could have left Notre Dame at 9 and Miami at 10 and said, hey, y'all in right now. But if these boys win their conference championship, guess what? Y'all getting pushed out first. 9 and 10, y'all gonna be the one sliding down. BYU, you win. Guess what? You jumping one of these boys, dog, and it would have been at least cosmetically a little better.
So let me check this. Y'all notice they put James Madison and North Texas in the top 25, bro.
Yep, they did that on purpose. So sorry ass.
Yeah,
Hey,
because
I'm
that
telling you,
was for if Virginia lose.
If Virginia loses, Duke is not going, bro. They already got North Texas and James Madison in the top 25. I know Virginia number 17, but if both of them teams win, or it don't even matter because Tulane is already at 20. Tulane play North Texas this week. If James Madison win, they're gonna put them boys in, bro. Go ahead and get ready.
Nah, they ain't gonna jump up. Nah, they got us the highest ranked ACC team.
The highest ranked
If Duke
ACC
win,
team doesn't mean anything.
we gonna get that ACC championship spot. If
What?
No, we not.
The championship already been decided. Who's gonna be playing?
Man,
They say
how you gonna get a conference
championship.
champion spot? You can't do that. You ain't even playing in the
You gotta
game.
win a championship to get that spot.
It's the top.
Well, you
So
can't
look.
move nobody from the bottom.
Yes,
Just
listen,
below
bro. So
us.
first
Conference
thing,
champions,
look,
11 and 12 doesn't matter
First
if you're in
thing
the
is this.
rankings.
You ain't gonna move
Tulane.
no North Texas or no James Madison in that spot.
Listen, let me
You gonna
explain.
learn
Hold
today.
on,
They said they're gonna get that
y'all.
spot. That's what they just said.
Hold on. Listen, let me explain something to you. The top 5 ranked conference champions automatically get into the playoffs. So we looking at this right now. Okay, the Big Ten. You see, I don't know if you can see, but all right, Ohio State and Indiana, both of them are in no matter what. It don't even matter. But that's the Big Ten champ. Georgia and Bama. The SEC champ will get in. That's 2. The Big 12 champ is Texas and BYU. Texas Tech, BYU. That's 3. Okay. The G5 people automatically go. Well, technically they don't automatically, but it's set up basically. It's the 5 highest ranked conference champions. So what I'm getting at is those are the top 3 conferences, right? The only other conference is ACC. If Virginia wins, they will get in. If Virginia don't win, these teams are already in the top 25. So Tulane win, they get in. If North Texas win, they get in. They both play each other, so that'll cancel out. But this James Madison sitting at 25, if Tulane beats North Texas, they're going to move up, and James Madison is probably going to move up to like 23. The only way that Duke can get in if they win is if they get higher than James Madison. That's the only way they can get in, because you would have a Sun Belt, an American, a Big 12, a SEC, and a Big 10 champion. Those are the top 5 champions in that scenario. I don't think Duke hops into the top 25 if they beat Virginia, unless they dog walk them by like 3-4 scores.
Man, they are trying to keep the ACC out. If Duke win, we are not getting a representative.
Yeah, if Duke win, ACC ain't getting in. They're going to put those teams in. But, we'll see. But if Duke win, the ACC not getting in, bro. They would have to.
I hear y'all theory. I hear what you're saying. But I'm telling you, if Duke win, they going to put Miami.
You can't do that.
You cannot do that.
It's the 5
ain't no way.
highest
Them
ranked
teams below us.
champions.
Ain't no way, man. Ain't no
It's
way.
the 5 highest
They
ranked
said it
champions.
verbatim.
That's it.
It sounds crazy, but it's in the paperwork. It's in the
It
literature,
says
dog.
it, bro.
They
The
can't.
5 highest ranked champions. You can't do that.
Yeah, that's
Miami
literally
ain't playing.
impossible.
So could they get in? Sure, but it's not going to be a championship spot.
Because we're not even in the championship game.
You can't
We'll
give a
have to be at
championship spot
large.
to a team that ain't in a championship game.
Which is the story.
That's why the ACC fucked up with how they set up the tiebreaker rules, boy.
Look.
They
If you read the rules, I need
Hey,
you to go
Wise.
back. I need everybody
Wise.
to go back and read the rules. When you talk about championship spot, that means in your conference championship spot.
Are they playing for their conference championship?
Only highest team in the conference of the Atlantic Coast Conference is Miami. You cannot
We're
take
not in a
another
championship
team from
game.
another conference and put them in a championship spot in another championship spot. You can't do
what
that.
you mean?
Oh, what
you
you
talking?
mean?
I don't think
You
you
talking like the
understand.
You
championships are not
ACC got
cannot.
a spot on
guaranteed
lock.
based on your
ACC got a
your
You
spot on
cannot
lock,
take
You
bro.
have to be
North
ranked high
Texas.
enough to get in that spot.
James Madison is not in the ACC. You cannot take
They
them,
don't need to
even
be
though
in the
they're in a
They're not
ACC.
the
championship
ACC.
Hey,
spot.
They're in their
Jay.
own
It's their
conference.
Hey, look,
conference.
check this out. Check this out. Are y'all looking at my screen?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. This is the new policy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is the new policy. This new policy will guarantee the 5 highest ranked conference champions,
Yes.
but will no longer include a bye for the 4 highest ranked champions. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If one or more of the 5 highest ranked conference champions are ranked outside of the top 12, pay attention to that. That team or teams would move up to the 12th, 11th seed, etc., based on conference champions outside the top 12. That's it. Now, we just looked at this, and I just showed you it is the 5 highest ranked conference champions. So if Duke is unranked, they cannot get in because there's already 5 conference champions that will be ranked.
And
Miami won't be representing the ACC in any scenario that you want to think about. It's not possible based upon that. Could Miami get in? Maybe. I don't think so. But they wouldn't be representing the ACC. They would just be in the playoffs for at-large bid.
You heard what they said at the end of the broadcast we just watched. They said they can move up or down. They can move up or down. That's why he said. That's why he did not comment on
What I'm
Miami.
telling you is, it won't be them representing the ACC as ACC champion. That's all I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's a title. That's a title. But they'll put them in a bracket spot. They will put them in a bracket spot because of that scenario.
No.
You just say you think Miami can get in if Duke lose and the other stuff happens. I'm not telling you that's not possible. You said Miami was going to represent the ACC
here's the question.
as the highest ranked ACC team.
No. I'm saying another conference champion can't move in another conference champion spot. You can't do that.
Let me hold on. This is what you don't understand. The ACC does not have a specific spot. Nobody does.
Nobody has no conference.
Nobody has a specific spot. That's what you missing.
It's not guaranteed for no conference to have a spot.
The reason why it's even shaking down like this is because everybody else has higher ranked conference champions. They already inside the top 12. So the ACC don't have an automatic bid to the playoffs, bro. That whole P4 thing or that's not existing anymore. So if Duke win and they don't raise above James Madison, they don't get in. It's literally that simple.
Okay. So all right. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. I'm getting ready to show you what I'm about to talk about because I had to think about it. Now I'm getting ready to show you. Okay. The team that you're talking about, if Duke lose, here you go. If Duke lose, what team you see moving into that ACC championship?
Virginia will have that spot.
So listen. Hold on.
Virginia is number 17.
Wait,
those other conferences.
Stop saying what team
if Duke
gonna move into the ACC championship. They don't have a spot.
But Virginia will get in if they beat Duke because they're ranked higher than those other teams that they're talking about. But if Virginia lose,
I say if Duke win, they're not going to put Duke in the championship spot. They're not going to put Duke
they're not going to put nobody in that championship spot. They're going to put the conference champions from those James Madison, whoever Tulane.
They already got that
because they're conference champions and they're ranked higher.
Tulane and whoever is in one conference, and then you got James Madison in a different conference.
Correct.
James Madison is ranked. If James Madison wins and Duke wins, Duke is unranked. So those two, the winner out of Tulane and whoever Tulane play, and James Madison will be the 5 conference champions.
Correct. That is exactly how that will work if they don't move Duke in front of James Madison. And I don't see them doing that. Unless they smoke them. Duke done lost 5 games or something. So unless they literally smoke Virginia, they're not going into the top 25. If they win,
Duke
gonna have James Madison.
If Duke win, they're not gonna put a lost team in that 12 bracket.
I agree. So that means James Madison would get it if they win.
They ain't gonna put James Madison over Miami though. That's what I'm trying to say.
Miami
don't have no right to play over James Madison if they win.
So you would leave Miami out and put James Madison in?
Yes.
No, that's not gonna happen.
Miami
and we gonna see next week. Y'all stick to what y'all saying, but we gonna see next week. We gonna see.
This is what you don't listen.
You gonna be like, oh,
you talking about? Listen, you talking about what the committee will or won't do. But the simple fact is, based upon what the rules say in black or white, the only way you get around that scenario if Duke wins is if they rank Duke higher than James Madison. Now, if James Madison happens to lose, then it's going to be whoever is the other highest ranked conference champion. So you just have to look at it. You're not getting a spot based upon the conference champion thing. You can get an at-large bid, but it won't come via conference championship. That's all we're telling you.
But what I'm saying is they already got a spot for that. That's
they got
what I'm trying to tell you that. They already got a spot for the James Madison and those conferences. They already
You
got a
think it?
spot for that.
Bro.
That's
So,
Look,
why it's
so,
12.
so let me
look.
tell you this, dog. When they came up with the rule, they expected all 4 power conferences to always have somebody ranked.
Correct.
So
Exactly.
they expected their champions will always be in there automatically. ACC is the only retarded conference that's sending a 7-5 team to
Exactly.
go play in the championship, dog. That's
Hey,
That's what I'm
unranked.
saying.
but look
You
at this
repeating
though.
what I'm
Hey, look at
saying.
this
That's what
map.
I'm saying.
Look at this map
I'm
right
saying the
here.
same damn thing.
No, you're
Go.
not. You're not saying the same thing.
Definitely
You
not saying
telling
the
Oh,
same
us.
thing
you
you
go.
saying, bro.
All right, let's go back. Go over. Start with the SEC. Go ahead and list the 5. List the 5
Bruh,
again.
I just listed it. So Ohio State or Indiana, either one, right?
Yeah, that's
Georgia.
one. That's one conference. Go ahead.
Listen, just listen. Georgia or Alabama, either
Uh
one.
huh.
That's where the second one goes.
Uh huh.
Texas Tech or BYU, that's where the third one goes.
Uh huh.
The fourth one, if Virginia wins, they get it. If they don't win, then it moves on to the next highest ranked conference champion.
Virginia is
Whoever
currently
that
ranked.
is.
Virginia is
That's not
currently
how it's
ranked.
gonna
That's
work.
why we say
That's
if
how
Duke
it works. You
wins.
telling us that's literally how
That's
it
not
works.
going. That's not going to happen. That's not going. That's because
Not
that's why they say that Miami
I
going to
know
be
that.
able to
I know
move
you think
up.
that's not gonna happen, but
Bruh,
that's
so
what it's
Jay.
saying is gonna happen. That's
bruh, what are
written
you
in
Say that's
saying
stone.
what
is
you
not gonna
don't
happen?
want to happen.
So
It's
let me
Written
tell
in
written.
you this,
stone.
bro.
Can't be
Go ahead.
changed for this
All right,
year.
keep on moving. All right. You just named ACC. You said Duke,
So that's
Duke
the
or Virginia.
potential
Okay, that's
four.
James
4.
Madison and
Okay,
So
go
Tulane.
ahead
watch
to the
this.
5th one.
Watch
Their
this.
conferences.
No, no, no,
Let me
no, no,
take you
no,
to
no.
the rest of them.
Don't pass the ACC yet, because it's specific. If Virginia wins,
They're
ACC
in.
has a spot.
Yeah,
But
Exactly.
Virginia
if
in.
Duke
So look.
wins, there's no position
So look.
locked.
Hey, look. Can y'all see
Okay,
my
leave
screen?
that blank. Okay, go to the next one.
So look.
Go to the next one. Leave ACC alone.
Hold
Go to the
on.
next
Hold
one.
on. Who's the next conference? American. You see that?
Right.
American.
And they got a spot for that for
Hold
American.
on. They don't. American doesn't specifically have a spot. That's what I keep like. Nobody
There's no
has a
guaranteed
specific
spots for
spot.
nobody, bro.
Look, American would be the next one in line. And then the next conference is Sun Belt, bro. We just counted 5 conferences outside of the ACC. So if Virginia don't win right here, there's Big 10, there's 1, SEC is 2, Big 12 is 3, American is 4, and the 5th conference champion would be right here, my boy, James Madison. They would be guaranteed a spot if Duke doesn't jump them. They are guaranteed a spot. Not what the committee want to do. Guaranteed they will get in if Duke. Now, if they put Duke at 24 or 23 and James Madison is behind them, then guess what? The ACC will get that spot. But if they don't, James Madison will get in.
If they do put
Virginia.
James Madison, it'd be at number 12. That's 12 spot.
Correct. 12 and 11. And if I go
But what
back,
I'm trying to tell you is if Duke win, Miami going now be in the 12th, they're going to be in a higher spot. That's
I
what I'm
didn't
trying to
say.
say.
I never said that Miami was going anywhere.
The top champions got the highest spots.
The conference champions don't have the highest spots. That is not true at all.
You can be a
Besides
conference champion
Ohio,
and
I'm
still don't get
saying
the first round bye.
not the Ohio State. I'm not talking about the ones that's basically almost undefeated. I'm not talking about them teams. I'm talking about looking at below that. I'm talking
Okay.
9. I'm talking about 9, 10, 11. That's what I'm
So
talking about.
Jay, if I'm not mistaken, the way they do it, they say if the conference champion is below is 12 or lower, they just got to fall in place from the bottom if they're a conference champion. Now, if
Correct.
you're a conference champion that's ranked above 12, you're going to maintain your same position if you don't
Right.
get bumped up, but you will not be lower than what you at.
Right.
So if your conference champion is 25 and you got another conference champion that's 24, 24 going to get spot 11, 25 going to get spot 12.
Correct. That's
And
exactly
that's how
how
it's
it
going
works.
to fall.
So James Madison and Tulane or either North Texas would fit both of those spots if Duke won. Now, if Virginia wins, James Madison don't make it because North Texas or Tulane both going to be ranked in front of James Madison. So they would be left out.
And
We'll
another
see.
thing you got
That's
to
all
pay
I gotta
attention
say.
to,
We'll see. I hear all what you're saying, but I'm telling you, if Duke win, they're gonna put Miami up in there. They're gonna put Miami in a higher.
That's
I
not a
didn't
guarantee,
say that they
bro.
weren't gonna put Miami in.
But that's
You
not a
said
guarantee
that they
based
was
off your
gonna give
logic.
It's not a
Miami
lock.
the ACC championship spot. That's not gonna happen
That's
because
not
there's not a spot for the ACC champion
Yeah,
unless Virginia
that's not gonna
wins.
happen based on your logic, bro.
Correct. That's all we telling you. You saying it wrong. I'm not telling you Miami can't get in, but you talking about representing the ACC as the champion. That's not how that works, bro.
Well,
if you're
no,
not in your championship
of
game,
course they're not
you
going
can't
to
represent
listen.
nobody as a
Of course,
champion.
Miami not going to represent the ACC as a champion because they're not a champion. They're not even
We ain't gonna be
in
representing
championship
ACC
game.
at all.
But what I'm saying, they are
So you
the
worded it
highest
wrong.
seed.
Okay.
They the highest seed in the ACC. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, they are the
Duke
highest
win,
ranked
they are
ACC
highest
team,
seed over
but
the
that
Duke.
don't mean nothing. Though.
No, but we still gonna
Absolutely
be left
nothing.
out, is what we're saying. No matter if we're above Duke or not, and they win, we still
Ain't
gonna
no
be left
conference
out.
guaranteed nothing.
It's not
No
guaranteed.
conference is guaranteed nothing. It's where you rank
It
that.
just so happens that they
I'm glad
inflate
they
the other
said they can
conferences
move
throughout
up
the
or they
year,
can move down. I'm glad
and
they
then
said that.
they do that.
That's what I'm glad. I'm glad they said that's why he didn't want to comment on it because it's confusion right there. What we talking about is really confusion. That's
Bottom
what we
line
talking
is
about.
Duke win,
Because
James Madison in.
That's it. Hey,
Bruh.
James. Hey, if Duke win, James Madison got position more locked than Miami doing in the playoffs.
If Duke
Exactly.
if Duke wins, the
Okay.
only way James Madison don't get in is if they rank Duke in front of them. It's that
Yeah,
simple.
that logic right there. Yeah.
And Miami could still make it in
Okay.
some fairy tale
I hear you.
world. If BYU and Bama get smashed, I
We
think
will
Miami
see.
gonna slide up.
We will see. We will see. That's all God said. We will see. It really don't make sense. And they really probably go to a 12-team college bracket. This shit's still confusing. This shit's still confusing.
Well, all right, fellas.
All right.
Y'all boys have a good night, man.
All right, you
Appreciate the
too.
conversation with y'all, man.
Hey, don't drink too much, man.